You ever wonder why people keep guessing your age wrong? Why strangers think you're younger, way younger, than the number on your ID? It's not luck, not skincare, not some magic gene pool you happen to win. It's something deeper, something darker, something they can't quite explain, because they've never felt it. See, looking younger than your age isn't about surface. It's about survival. It's about what you've let go of, what you've faced, and what you refused to kill inside yourself. Most people age from the inside out. They rot in comfort. They drown in fear. They surround themselves with energy that starves the soul. But you didn't fold. You didn't settle. You kept a piece of your fire alive. And that fire, it shows in your walk, in your energy, in the way time seems to skip you. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 7 hidden reasons why you look younger than your age. Not the sugar-coated kind, the real shayat no one talks about. Each one will hit deeper than the last. If you've ever felt like you were built different, you were right. Stick around till the end, because what you're about to hear might just explain everything they see in you, but can't name. And if you're new here, welcome to the shadows. Hit that subscribe button and join the ones who see through the surface. This is Darkside Demeanor. Let's go in. Number 1. You carry a spirit that refuses to break most people. They don't even realize they're already giving up. Not all at once. It's in pieces. One heartbreak at 23, one failure at 30, a betrayal, a layoff, a dead end. And then one day, they stop looking you in the eyes. You know that look. Dull, defeated, like the world's been chewing on them for years, and they forgot how to bite back. They move like ghosts, and their faces, carved up by stress. Every wrinkle, every sag, it ain't age, it's memory, unprocessed pain, unspoken rage, and silence that should have been screams. But you're built different. Maybe you didn't choose the struggle, but you sure as hell didn't let it own you. You've been through hell quietly. The kind of pain that doesn't get sympathy cards. The type that never gets posted online. Dark nights that taught you how to sit in your own skin without needing to be rescued. You didn't escape the storm. You became the damn storm. While they collapsed, you adapted. You learned how to walk with cracked bones. You didn't look for shortcuts. You bled through it. And that blood turned into grit, into grace, into a presence that walks into rooms and makes weak people nervous. That's why you don't age like them. Because your body doesn't carry regret. It carries war stories. You've taken hits, spiritual, emotional, even physical. But you learned the difference between being broken and being forged. Let me tell you a secret most people miss. It's not the trauma that ages people. It's their response to it. People collapse internally, and the body follows. That's when time eats them. Not because of years, but because of unresolved wars inside. But when you face it, when you digest your pain, metabolize it into strength, your soul gets leaner, sharper. You become the type of person who doesn't flinch when the world swings at you, because you already fought yourself in the mirror. Your walk gets heavier, but in a good way, not tired, rooted. People can feel your past, even if they can't name it. And that feeling? It's respect. The kind that doesn't need to be earned anymore, because it's already etched into how you move. You don't posture. You exist. That alone disrupts the soft ones. Science even backs it. Ever heard of telomeres? They're like the biological countdown clock in your DNA. Stress, trauma, emotional suppression, those things burn through your telomeres like wildfire. But resilience? Resilience is the antidote. Studies show that people who bounce back emotionally, even from hell, keep their cells younger. Not just metaphorically, literally. Your DNA respects your mindset. And yours? It's Spartan. You don't carry yourself like someone who's been through a lot. You carry yourself like someone who built something from it. There's a difference. You ever seen a wolf with scars on its face? Still majestic, still dangerous, still standing. You are that. That's why people do double takes when they hear your age. They expect you to be worn out. But your glow confuses them, because they don't understand that real youth isn't in smooth skin. It's in a soul that didn't let itself rot. It's in peace that was paid for in blood. So stop apologizing for your strength. Stop downplaying your survival. They don't have to understand it. Action. You want to stay young? Here's the real formula. Process your pain. Don't bury it. Burn it for fuel. Walk tall with your scars exposed. Let your story leak through your silence. Because when you stop hiding what built you, time can't touch you. It won't even know where to start. Number 2. You let go of the past, while everyone else drags it. You ever see someone walk into a room, but their spirit never follows? Yeah, that's a person still dragging their past like a corpse behind them. Years later, still chained to something that should have been buried. You can feel the heaviness in their aura, the tight jaw, the tired eyes, the tension that never really leaves their shoulders. They might smile, but it's hollow, like their soul missed the memo. See, most people don't age because of time. They age because of what they refuse to let go of. Regret, shame, old betrayals, what they should have said, what they should have done, what he did, what she didn't. They carry it like it's an identity, like it gives them power. But it's not power, it's poison. That kind of spiritual weight, it gets into your bones. It slows your gait. It makes your skin dull and your voice tired. You burned the fuxing luggage, set it on fire and watched it scream one last time before you walked away. Because you figured something out that most people never do. Forgiveness isn't about weakness. It's about release. It ain't about letting someone off the hook. It's about refusing to let that memory own your nervous system. You stopped waiting for that apology that was never coming. You stopped replaying the betrayal like a horror film every night in your head. You realized, why am I suffering for what they did? That's when the game changed. You see, neurologically, when you replay trauma, your brain can't tell the difference between memory and reality. Your body relives it. Cortisol spikes. Heart rate climbs. Your immune system drops. You age from the inside out. And over time, that stress etches itself into your face. But you said enough. You stopped feeding ghosts. You don't flinch when their name pops up anymore. You don't craft imaginary revenge scenarios in the shower. You don't carry that pain into new relationships, new rooms, new opportunities. You learned to let it die. It's a skill, a brutal one, because forgiveness is a death. It's the death of your ego's desire to win, to be right, to get closure. You let that version of you dissolve, the one that needed answers. And in its place, you found peace, lightness, glow. Because peace is what makes people glow. People ask, why do you look so calm all the time? Simple. You're not in spiritual debt anymore. You're not paying rent to the past. You've evicted the people who wronged you from the palace of your mind. No more unpaid tenants, no more reruns. It's not that you forgot, you remember. But without the venom, you got the lesson. And that's all you needed. Listen, old pain, if it's not released, becomes architecture. It builds a prison inside of you. You decorate it. You call it caution. You call it being realistic. But the truth is, you're just reliving wounds. And wounds, if you don't let them heal, start to rot. That rot spreads to your face, your energy, your trust, your joy. But when you finally choose to let go, you clear space. Your nervous system breathes, your body recalibrates, and time starts respecting you again. There's even science behind it. Studies from Stanford and Johns Hopkins show that people who forgive have lower blood pressure, better sleep, longer lifespans, and even healthier skin. Why? Because they're not burning energy on rage loops. They're not in constant stress mode. Their immune systems aren't being hijacked by emotion from 2013. You dropped all that dead weight, and that's why you walk different, talk different, age different. People try to figure it out. What's your skincare routine? Nah, bruh. Your secret ain't in a serum. It's in your emotional hygiene. It's in how clean your spirit is. You detoxed from memories. And that clarity, it radiates. Action. Here's what you do if you're still carrying the past. Write a letter you'll never send. Say what needs saying. Burn it. Create a no-return zone in your mind. Certain memories are not allowed to replay anymore. Stop stalking the pain. Stop checking their profile. Let them rot where they left you. Start viewing forgiveness not as surrender, but as spiritual alchemy. You're turning suffering into silence, into peace, into power. Because dragging your past through your future is how you age 10 years in 2. But you let go. And time backed off. Number 3, you still have fire, not just a pulse. You ever see someone who looks alive, but they're already 6 feet deep emotionally? Yeah, the light's still on, but nobody's home. They wake up, brush their teeth, clock in, scroll their phone, pay their bills, die a little, every single day. They don't live life, they just manage it. You can spot them a mile away, eyes dimmed, shoulders slumped. Voices sound like they've been chewing on drywall. You ask them what excites them, and they stare at you like you just spoke another language. That's the silent epidemic nobody talks about. Spiritual death. Most people die long before their bodies give out. It's just not on a medical record. But you still got fire. Not smoke, not embers. Fire. There's something in you that still wants, that still burns, that still fights. You walk into a room and people feel it. You don't need to talk loud. You don't need to announce your presence. Because your energy speaks first. You know why you look younger than your age? Because you're not dead inside. That fire, it keeps your nervous system awake. It floods your body with dopamine, serotonin, testosterone, real bioelectric fuel. Your mind stays curious. Your cells stay alert. You don't carry the slow decay of boredom and regret. You carry tension, drive, hunger. See, the body responds to mission. When you have a why, your body finds a how. You sleep different, eat different, breathe different. People ask, how do I get motivated? Wrong question. Motivation is the symptom. Purpose is the disease. And you? You're infected with something too strong to be numbed out by comfort. Here's the truth. Nobody says out loud. Boredom is the real aging agent. Not time, not gray hair. Boredom. You take a lion, cage it for years, feed it just enough to survive. And eventually, it forgets how to hunt. But not you. You refused the cage. Even when it looked safe. Even when it paid well. Even when it came with benefits and fake smiles. Because something in your chest said, this ain't it. You're still building, still learning, still flirting with your dreams like they're possible. And that belief, it electrifies you. Purpose is the strongest anti-aging serum on earth. Period. You could be 55 with crow's feet and still have more glow than a 25-year-old TikToker. Why? Because you're charged, because you care, because you're still chasing something that makes your soul stretch. That's the real secret. Purpose is a chemical cocktail. Scan after scan shows it. People with purpose have lower inflammation, slower aging, better immune response, more stable hormone levels, better cardiovascular health. Why? Because the brain-body system knows this life has meaning. Don't shut it down. You want to know why retirees look 15 years older within months of quitting? Because they stop mattering to themselves. But you matter. To yourself. To the mission. Even when no one's watching. You don't need applause. You don't need permission. You've got a furnace inside of you. That's why people don't get it. They think it's skincare or diet. Nah, it's that silent obsession behind your eyes. The restlessness, the clarity, the sense that you're not done yet. They stopped evolving. You never did. You know that moment where most people say, well, I guess this is just how life is. That's when you accelerated. Because deep down, you know, if you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not chasing something, you're being chased by depression, by doubt, by decay. And here's the darkest part. A lot of people choose numbness because chasing fire means facing fear, means failure, means looking stupid sometimes. But you'd rather look foolish chasing something real than look polished doing something dead. That's why people ask, what's your secret? It's simple. You're not faking passion. You're living in it. And that glow, the one that stops people mid-sentence, that's the residual heat from a soul that's still on fire. Action. Ask yourself this tonight. If nobody paid me, praised me, liked my post, or clapped, would I still be doing what I'm doing? If the answer is no, you're off mission. You're not bored. You're disconnected. So reconnect. Even if you gotta start small. Right. Building, create, train, serve, invent, love, lead. Do something that hurts a little to chase. That's your compass. Because you don't want to look back 10 years from now and realize you had fire, but you let it go cold because comfort whispered louder than purpose. Not you. Not now. Number 4. You don't live in fear. You ever look into someone's face and just know they've been running from something for years? Not from danger, from life itself. They're not old, but something in their posture says they've already surrendered. Eyes dart too quick, jaw locked, breath shallow, like they're waiting for something to go wrong, because it always does. That's not age you're seeing. That's fear, rotting people from the inside out. Fear of being seen, fear of failing, fear of being too much, or not enough. It's subtle, it's sneaky, but it shows up everywhere. The way they slouch into themselves, the way they speak like they're apologizing for existing, the way they avoid mirrors, cameras, dreams. And here's the cold truth. Fear ages you faster than time ever could. Because when you live in fear, your body stays in defense mode 24/7. Cortisol levels spike, muscles stay tense, breathing goes shallow, digestion slows down, immune system weakens. Your nervous system thinks you're being chased by a lion every damn day. Eventually, your body starts breaking down, not because you're getting old, but because you've forgotten what safety feels like. Now here's the twist most people don't see coming. You don't get strong by never feeling fear. You get strong by not obeying it. That's where you're different. You don't live like prey. You might hesitate. You might overthink. You might even stall at the edge of the cliff. But you jump anyway. That's courage. Not the absence of fear, but forward motion in the face of it. That's why your face still holds softness. Because it's not clenched up with unspoken what-ifs. That's why your walk's still loose. Because you're not dragging chains made of imaginary doom. That's why your eyes stay sharp, focused, alive. Because they're looking at the world, not away from it. You don't flinch. And in a world addicted to hesitation, that makes you dangerous. Most people spend their lives behind mental fences. Fences that don't exist. They fear rejection, so they never speak up. Fear failure, so they never try. Fear judgment, so they never create. Fear loneliness, so they cling to toxic people. And all that fear, it shows. On their skin, in their posture, in the sadness behind their "I'm fine." They think they're hiding it, but it's written on them in invisible ink that everybody can read. You move like someone who's been through fear and came out the other side, hungry. That's rare. That's earned. That's why your energy hits different. And make no mistake, this ain't just some philosophical hype. Science backs it up. Chronic fear activates the HPA axis, the system in your body responsible for survival mode. Over time, that constant activation kills brain cells, destroys memory, causes premature cellular aging, even shortens telomeres, those little caps at the ends of your DNA strands that determine how fast you age. Translation: fear literally speeds up your biological death. But courage reverses that decay. When you take action in spite of fear, your body calms, endorphins kick in, confidence chemicals fire, stress lowers, immune function returns. That glow people talk about, that, how do you still look like that at your age? That's not lotion. That's liberation. And here's the deeper part no one talks about. Living in fear is spiritual claustrophobia. You feel small all the time. You shrink around strong people. You dilute yourself to avoid confrontation. You second-guess every move before you make it. Eventually, you start editing your life down to the smallest, safest version of yourself. And guess what? That version starts dying on the outside too. But not you. Because you understand something most people never do. Fear is a liar, but it talks in your voice. And if you listen to it long enough, you'll mistake it for truth. But you stopped listening. You looked it in the face, shook its hand and said, "Cool story. I'm doing it anyway." And that's why you walk lighter. That's why you look untouched by the chaos. That's why people ask how you do it, even if they can't say it out loud. You've broken the contract with fear. Action. You want to know if fear's secretly aging you? Try this. Make a list of everything you haven't done because you're waiting for the right time. Then ask yourself who you're really protecting, your ego or your potential. Notice the tension in your body when you avoid something. That's unspent energy. That's age trying to settle in. Take one bold action this week that scares you, but aligns with who you know you could be if you stopped shrinking. Because when you act in the face of fear, your body celebrates. It says, "Oh, we're living again? Bet. Let's repair. Let's glow. Let's flex." You can spend your life hiding from failure, or you can collect scars from battles you chose to fight. But don't get it twisted. Fear ages. Action liberates. Courage glows. Number 5, you still smile, and mean it. Most people don't smile anymore. Not really. They just stretch their lips enough to be socially correct. But behind their eyes, nothing but quiet war. You can feel it. That dead stare, that forced grin, that "I'm good" masking decades of disappointment. See? Joy's become a lost art. Because somewhere along the line, people started believing that smiling meant you were naive. Like being soft made you stupid. Like if you still had joy, it meant you hadn't seen enough pain yet. But that's false. Joy ain't weakness. It's warfare. In a world that profits off your misery. In a system that feeds on your dissatisfaction. In a culture that teaches you to hate your body, doubt your dreams, and second-guess your voice. Smiling, real smiling, is rebellion. It's you looking pain in the eye and saying, "Yeah, you touched me, but I'm still standing, and I still got light in me." You know how rare that is. Most people get older and tighten. Their joy dries up. Their laughter fades into sarcasm. Their hope turns into eye rolls. Why? Because the world beat them. They didn't even realize it. Just one disappointment at a time. Until one day they stopped laughing and never noticed they'd gone quiet. Their face remembers. It starts holding on to tension. Their smile lines stop moving. Eyes lose the spark. Neck tightens up. Posture sinks. And now they're wondering why they look 10 years older. It's not just age. It's emotional residue. It's the weight of unsaid things, of swallowed laughter, of dreams shelved for later that never came. But you're different. You still laugh like the world hasn't hardened you. That real laugh. That from the gut, I don't care who's watching laugh. The kind that cracks through a bad day like a fist through glass. You smile because something inside you refuses to die. You smile because you earned it. Not because life's been easy, but because you didn't let life own you. That's real joy. And let me tell you something most people never hear. Joy is a healer. You can Google it. Real joy, especially expressed through genuine smiling and laughter, activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and repair mode of the body. It lowers cortisol, boosts immunity, regulates blood pressure, releases endorphins and serotonin, even increases cellular regeneration. That glow you have, that youth you carry, it's biochemical rebellion. You're not smiling because things are perfect. You're smiling because you refuse to let pain make you bitter. Because somewhere in your soul, you still believe life has something beautiful left to offer. And people feel that. That's why they're drawn to you. That's why they keep asking your age. That's why they pause when you speak. Because your energy feels light in a world that's addicted to heaviness. You're proof that peace isn't delusion. It's discipline. It's the result of choosing joy when bitterness is easier. Of choosing lightness when anger feels more familiar. Of keeping your heart open when it would have been safer to shut it down. And here's what no one tells you. Your face keeps score. Every time you fake a smile, it records it. Every time you clench your jaw instead of expressing yourself, it locks in. Every time you hold in a laugh to seem professional, your spirit pays rent. But every time you let yourself feel joy fully, your body lets go. Your face softens. Your system releases tension it didn't even know it was holding. Your smile isn't decoration. It's a reflection of how free you are on the inside. And you? You're freer than most. Because you didn't let heartbreak make you cynical. You didn't let betrayal close your chest. You didn't let disappointment steal your ability to be moved by life. That's what makes you glow. Because real joy, the kind that lives deep in your ribcage and breaks out when you least expect it, that joy is what preserves you. Action. Smile when it's hard. That's when it rewires your nervous system the most. Laugh with your full chest, often, without shame. Watch comedy. Be around joyful people. They're medicine. Practice daily gratitude, but not the Instagram kind. The real, gritty, I'm still breathing and still have purpose kind. And above all, let your smile be a message to the world that says, I've been through it, and I still found reasons to shine. Because smiling in this bitter, broken, stressed out world, that's not weakness, that's gangster. That's what keeps your spirit young. That's what keeps your face light. That's what makes people ask, what's their secret? And the secret is this: you never stopped believing joy was worth fighting for. Number 6, you choose growth over comfort. You ever look around and realize how many people gave up without announcing it? They're not homeless. They're not sick. They're not even struggling, really. But they're done. Soul on autopilot. Routine on loop. Get up, commute, work, scroll, microwave dinner, watch something brainless, sleep, repeat. They didn't die fast. They're dying slow, the worst kind. Because comfort is seductive. It wraps you in just enough pleasure to keep you distracted, but not enough to wake you up. And that's how life forgets you. You stop evolving, and the universe stops whispering. No more signs, no more sparks, no more nudges. You fade, softly, silently, in sweatpants. But you got the itch, that soul itch. You know the one, that feeling that whispers, this ain't it, there's more, let's go. You've learned that stillness is not peace. It's decay, disguised in comfort. So you stretch, even when your muscles scream. You learn new things, even when your ego gets bruised. You walk into unfamiliar rooms, talk to intimidating people, take on projects you don't feel ready for. Because ready is a lie. You never feel ready for growth. You feel friction, you feel doubt, you feel fear, and then you do it anyway. That's growth. That's what keeps your mind razor sharp and your body reactive, alive, alert. Your nervous system knows the difference. It tracks when you're playing small. Stay too long in the comfort zone, and it goes dull. Reaction time slows, hormones drop, energy fades, your face even loses expression. Like your emotions don't need the full range anymore, because life became so predictable. That's what ages people. Predictability, safety, staying in the same damn emotional zip code for decades. But you move like someone who's becoming, not maintaining, becoming, and becoming hurts. It should. You're growing bones where you used to have beliefs, stretching skin over dreams you didn't think you were worthy of. That kind of change, it scares most people, because growth asks you to kill the person you used to be. Daily. And let's be honest, most don't have the stomach for that kind of transformation. But you've tasted it. And once you taste the stretch, you can't go back to the couch. That's why you move differently. Why you speak with a quiet kind of fire. Why your energy doesn't match your age. You're evolving, not just aging. Even biologically, people who keep learning new skills, who expose themselves to new environments, literally rewire their brain. Neuroplasticity stays high. Telomeres stay longer. Cognitive decline slows. Growth keeps your system guessing, and that unpredictability is youth. Your mind says, we're still adapting, still needing to perform, still alive. Meanwhile, comfort says, you've arrived. Sit down, shut up, stay here forever. But you're allergic to forever. You know forever is where souls rot. That's why you choose friction, choose tension, choose spaces that make you feel small, because that's where real expansion starts. You've made peace with temporary incompetence. You're cool with being the student. You'd rather be a fool for 6 months than stay a master of mediocrity for life. And that mindset, that's what keeps you young. You know what kills people slowly? Same job for 30 years. Same mindset since high school. Same 3 topics of conversation. Same schedule. Same excuses. They plateau, then calcify. But you evolve so fast, the past version of you wouldn't recognize who you are now. And that's how it should be. You shed old identities like dead skin. Because you know comfort's favorite trick is convincing you you're doing fine. Fine? Fine is just failure in disguise. You weren't made for fine. You were made to stretch until you snap and rebuild yourself better. Action. Here's how you know if you're actually growing or just playing pretend. When's the last time you did something that scared the shit out of you, and you did it anyway? When's the last time you changed your mind about something deep, something that made you uncomfortable to admit you were wrong about? When's the last time your voice shook while speaking your truth? If you can't remember, you've been coasting. Do one uncomfortable thing this week. Start the conversation. Apply for the position. Ask for what you actually want. Show up where you're not the expert. Get rejected and keep going. Because every time you choose growth over comfort, you buy back years from the clock. And the people around you will wonder, how the hell are they still glowing? The answer is simple. You chose motion over maintenance, pain over pause, evolution over existence. Number 7. You protect your energy. Like it's sacred. Ever had someone walk into a room and the whole vibe just drop? Didn't say a word yet, but somehow it feels like the oxygen just got sucked out. Like your shoulders tensed for no reason. Like you already need a nap, and they just got there. Yeah, that's not coincidence. That's energy contamination. See, most people don't realize it, but your energy is your most expensive currency. More than time, more than money, more than love. Because your energy dictates how you do everything, how you think, how you feel, how you age, how you attract, how you survive. And when you're around the wrong people, your system starts leaking fast. You walk in with clarity. You leave confused. You show up joyful. You leave agitated. You came with light. And now you're dimmer, without knowing why. Why? Because some people don't feed. They feed off. They don't want peace. They want drama. They don't want healing. They want chaos to have company. They don't want truth. They want your confusion to match theirs, so they don't have to fix themselves. They don't talk with you. They dump on you. And here's the sinister part. They don't even always mean to. Some of them are just carrying so much trauma, insecurity, resentment, and unprocessed guilt that they radiate corrosion. They're walking, talking signal jammers. And if you stay in their frequency too long, you start glitching too. But not you. You learned the hard way. You've sat across the table from people who smile with their mouths while stabbing with their vibe. You've listened to friends vent for hours, only to realize they weren't venting. They were transferring. You were their emotional trash bin. And every time you tried to set a boundary, they called you selfish, distant, changing. Good. You did change. You stopped letting people siphon your light so they could feel less empty. You stopped keeping people around just because they had history. You realized loyalty without alignment is slow suicide. Now, you protect your energy like a fortress. You don't hang out with folks who love gossip more than growth. You're not available for small talk that drains your large purpose. You don't answer texts from people whose names give you anxiety. You walk away from noise, even if it wears a familiar face. Because you know your peace is sacred, and sacred things aren't shared with everyone. Your glow, that ain't a filter. It's the result of cutting people off before they rot your nervous system. And science, it backs this all the way up. Your nervous system literally mimics the environment it's in. Mirror neurons, look them up, are part of why we feel drained around anxious, chaotic, or negative people. Their system starts to override yours. It hijacks your vibration. That's not spiritual fluff. That's biology. Your energy field is constantly scanning the frequencies around you. It either expands or constricts. And constricted energy equals stress. Stress, check inflammation. Inflammation equals aging. Aging equals exactly what we're not trying to do around here. You ever notice how people who hang out with complainers start looking tired? Eyes dull, skin flat, shoulders curved, because negativity sinks the body. But those who protect their peace, they move light. Their face stays soft. Their presence feels open. You can see it in the way they stand, like their body isn't under siege anymore. You got there because you stopped treating your energy like it was free. You started treating it like your lifeline, because it is. And people don't get it. They think you're too sensitive, too picky, too distant. Nah, you're precise. You're intentional. You're finally done playing spiritual janitor in someone else's chaos. Action. Audit your circle. Quietly, mercilessly. Ask, does this person feed my peace or my doubt? Do I leave this convo clearer or heavier? Do I feel seen or scanned? If the answers are wrong, delete, mute, back away, whatever it takes. Start honoring your own vibe like it's your vital sign, because it is. Take space from people who confuse closeness with access. They don't get the same version of you they used to, because that version no longer exists. You don't owe anyone your light, especially not people who walk in with wet fingers, looking to short-circuit your spirit. Remember, your soul is not public property. Your frequency is not open bar. And if someone makes you feel guilty for protecting it, that's how you know they were feeding off you, not loving you. So keep your circle small, your peace big, and your boundaries bulletproof. That's why you don't age like the rest, because you've cleared the energy clutter that most people drown in. And now, your skin glows, your presence expands, and your soul stays clean. Final. Looking young isn't the goal. It's the side effect of living with discipline, with fire, with peace, with purpose. So, if the world keeps guessing your age, let them. That mystery, it means you're living right. Now, tell me in the comments, what's the wildest age mistake someone's made about you? Subscribe to Darkside Demeanor if this hit you where it matters. Click like if you're tired of surface-level advice. Share this with someone who's got that glow, but doesn't know why. Keep going, keep growing, and never let the mirror tell you who you are. See you in the next one.